Most people think loneliness means not enough friends. The top 1% know it can hide inside a full calendar. You show up, you smile, you contribute, but you never let the drawbridge down. Not because you're weak, but because you're protecting the version of you that earns respect. You learned that being seen can cost you leverage. Here's the quiet engine behind it: attachment style, rejection sensitivity, and social comparison. 3 forces that script your behavior before you speak. They decide when you share, when you shut down, and why rooms feel cold even when they're warm. In the next few minutes, you get a clear map. Practical, not performative. You'll see why your nervous system bargains with closeness and how busy becomes a shield. If you ignore this, standards become a cage. Here's the trap most high-potential men walk into. You learned early that being impressive earns you space in rooms. Being vulnerable gets you dismissed or managed. So you built an identity around what you can deliver. Your value became your output. Your worth became your usefulness. That works until it doesn't. Because competence is a ticket in, not a bond that holds. If closeness once led to disappointment, your nervous system learned to avoid exposure. Not because you're broken, but because pain taught speed. Pull away fast. Keep the story tight. The cost now is quiet. You get proximity without proof. People near you. No one equipped to carry your weight. Your friends know the useful you, the easy you. They never meet the uncertain you. So trust stalls, not because they don't care, but because they don't have real data. You never hand them anything they could drop or carry. Everything stays sterile. And here's the part most people get wrong. You mistake performance for safety. Polished signals. I'm good, which invites praise, not closeness. Intimacy needs friction, a little mess, a little reveal that tests and then holds. Without that, no one can attach to you. They can only admire you. Admiration is light. Attachment is heavy. You need the weight. The competence trap works like this. You rehearse your updates before casual hangs. You edit your struggles into lessons before you share them. You turn uncertainty into strategy talk. That feels like preparation. It's actually a filter that removes anything real. People receive a highlight reel. They respond with compliments. You mistake that for connection. But compliments don't build trust. They build distance, dressed as respect. Your nervous system treats vulnerability like a status threat. Show weakness and lose leverage. That's the rule it runs on. So you perform strength even when you're tired. You deflect concern with a joke or a pivot. You answer, "How are you?" with logistics, not feeling. The short-term win is control. The long-term cost is isolation. Here's what that looks like in real behavior. You share wins, but hide process. You talk about what worked, but not what scared you. You celebrate results, but skip the part where you doubted the path. That gives people a highlight. It denies them a handhold. They can't help you because they don't know where you actually are. They can't support you because you never hand them coordinates. This isn't introversion. It's untested trust. The fix isn't a big confession. It's small, steady proofs. Micro-disclosures that let others show you they can hold something real without weaponizing it or trying to fix it. That's how you pay off the loneliness tax. Not by lowering your standards, by testing if the people in your life can meet you at depth, one careful step at a time. Start with attachment style. Think of it like a default setting for closeness. It's a body rule, not a moral score. It runs under your words. If you run anxious, your system scans for danger. A slow reply sounds like rejection. A neutral face becomes a bad sign. You over-explain to get ahead of loss. You plan every line before a casual hang. That feels like preparation. It's actually performance. The intention is safety. The result is strain. People feel managed. You feel unseen. If you run avoidant, warmth spikes your alarm. Closeness feels like losing control of the frame. You push the talk back to plans, metrics, logistics. You keep soft topics short. You value space more than softness. The intention is order. The result is distance. People feel you dodge. You feel misunderstood. Earned security is different. Not magic, just reps. You share in small pieces and watch for steady responses. You don't flood. You don't freeze. You match the room and adjust. The intention is truth. The result is ease. You become predictable in a good way. Now, rejection sensitivity. This is threat inflation. Your brain fills blanks with worst cases. Small delays read like dismissal. A clipped sentence sounds like contempt. Then you self-protect. You pull back, get cold, or push for reassurance. You turn connection into a courtroom. Evidence only, no grace. The fix isn't to suppress feelings, it's to slow the story. Ask, what else could this mean? List 3 boring reasons: busy, driving, low battery. Then act on timing, not worth. Send? Is later better? You clear fog without begging for comfort. Next, social comparison. The status first, intimacy later trap. You rank everyone. You hold back until you feel equal. Competence becomes a mask you never set down. Pride and envy block curiosity. You wait to share until you can polish a win. That keeps you safe. It keeps you unknown. Trade scoreboard for process. Swap what did you get for how did you choose? Process invites story. Story invites trust. Here's the interaction effect. These 3 stack. Avoidant plus high rejection sensitivity equals polished distance. You look fine. You feel alone. Anxious plus comparison equals overshare, then shame, then retreat. You talk too much, feel exposed, then vanish. Different costumes, same ending. You don't feel met. And here's the belief break. Loneliness isn't a fog, it's a structure. Inputs in, outputs out. Inputs, threat stories. Rank checks, self-protection. Outputs, low reveal. High performance, thin trust. Change the inputs and the outputs move. Busyness sits on top like a lid. Full calendar. Empty, risk. You say yes to tasks and no to tests of trust. It feels productive. It's defensive. You avoid the discomfort that builds proof. Real connection asks for micro-exposure and follow-through. Not a grand opening, a steady door. Open, close, repeat. That's how the wall starts working like a filter. You keep your standards. You drop the shield. Here's the how. 5 experiments to keep things small and steady. You're not trying to spill your story. You're building proof that you can show a little, see what comes back, and still feel safe. Experiment number 1, the 1-line share. If the group is light, drop 1 present tense line. I'm reworking my sleep. Not dialed yet, then stop. If they ask a follow-up, answer once. Then ask, how did you fix yours? If they ignore it, don't push. Log it. Try with a different person next time. If someone jokes at your expense, smile. Hold eye contact and say, I'm serious about fixing it. That sets tone without drama. Common mistake, turning the share into a speech. Keep it 1 sentence. You're testing response, not performing. Experiment number 2, the process swap. Replace scoreboard talk with decision talk. Instead of what did you get, ask what made you pick that. If they light up, keep it going with what would you do different next time. If they go vague, try, I'm asking because I'm deciding between A and B. That signals purpose, not nosiness. If they brag, exit kindly. Sounds like it worked. Cool. You protected your focus and kept it clean. Experiment number 3, the small boundary. State limits early and simple. I've got an hour, then I need to bounce. If someone pushes, repeat once. I've got an hour. Then pivot topics. If they take it personal, don't explain your calendar. Explain your energy. I do better when I keep promises to myself. If they respect it, reward it with a clear next step. This was good. Let's schedule next week. Experiment number 4, the ongoing thread. Pick one person and keep one topic alive across weeks. Training plan, book notes, sleep. If they forget, you reopen once, still trying the new thing. Any changes on your side? If they never engage, shift the thread to someone else. You're building rhythm where there's appetite. If they add detail, match pace. Share one new data point, not a dump. Experiment number 5, the busy audit. Before you say yes, am I hiding inside tasks? Keep things short, real, and focused. If you feel the urge to cancel last minute, text the truth. Energy is low. Can we keep it short? You keep the rep without faking it. If the other person flakes often, cap investment. Quick calls only. Low effort, low resentment. And here's where most people mess up. They chase a deep talk. They force a heavy night. That spikes dopamine, then crashes trust when it isn't repeated. You're after reliability. Short reps, clean edges, predictable contact. Over time, the pattern builds weight. Not because you begged for closeness, but because you removed confusion. Now run it forward. A few months from now, your circle understands your pattern. They know they'll get a real update, not just a highlight. They expect boundaries set early, not leaked late. They don't need to guess your mood. They can track your trajectory. That is trust, not a promise, a pattern. One thread carried across time, and patterns aren't built by motivation. They're built by reps. So here's how you install the pattern cleanly, without overexposing, and without waiting to feel ready. Here's exactly how to run this. Step 1. Pick 2 experiments for the next 2 weeks. One social, process swap or one-line share. One structural, small boundary or busy audit. Run each one twice with 2 different people, same move, same wording. That's 4 total reps. Don't improvise. You're testing for pattern, not searching for perfection. If the first rep feels awkward, that's data. Run it again. If the second person responds better, you've found signal. If both ignore it, try a different experiment next week. Reps build proof. Proof kills the story that no one can meet you. Step 2. Start one ongoing thread with one person. One topic. One check-in per week. Keep it short. One sentence update. One question back. No coaching. No status flex. That means you don't fix their process or offer unsolicited strategy. You're building rhythm, not proving competence. If you catch yourself typing a 3-paragraph solution, delete it. Replace it with, "How's that sitting with you now?" You're testing if they can hold your attention without you performing value. Step 3. Do a 3-minute audit every Sunday. Ask, where did I perform instead of connect? Where did I guard instead of share? What micro move felt risky but landed clean? What do I repeat next week? Write one sentence you'll use, one boundary you'll state, one question you'll ask. You're not journaling feelings, you're collecting behavioral data. Over time, that data replaces overthinking. You stop guessing what people think. You start tracking what they do when you show up steady. Expect less post-hang overthinking, fewer text spirals, and more clean next steps in 14 days. Not perfect, just lighter. You'll notice you spend less time rehearsing updates and more time noticing who actually responds. That's the shift, from performance prep to pattern recognition. Mistake to avoid. Chasing a big vulnerable moment. Go for repeatable friction. You can carry on a low-energy week, small, steady, survivable. Loneliness just moved from mood to structure. You can renegotiate. That's the shift. You now see the inputs, threat stories, rank checks, performance shields. Change those, and the outputs change. Not instantly, but predictably. Run 2 experiments this week. Pick the ones that scare you least. That's your starting line. Because here's what happens if you don't. Your calendar stays full. Your trust account stays empty. You collect surface, Connections that dissolve under any real weight. People know your resume. No one knows your rhythm. You become the person others admire from a distance and forget when the room clears. That's the real damage. Not loneliness as a mood, loneliness as a permanent position. And here's the professional cost. The moves you just learned don't stay in your social life. They transfer. The person who can share small updates without flooding. The person who states boundaries early without drama. The person who asks process questions instead of flexing outcomes. That person builds trust faster in meetings, negotiations, and leadership moments. Reliability becomes your professional advantage. Not because you opened up, because you became predictable in a way that others can lean on. That's how connection turns into influence. One clean rep at a time.